After he moved this mirror, he learned his deceased daughter's big secret. When he entered the room to clean it up, the mirror caught his eye. He decided to take the mirror off the wall, and what he saw at the back of the mirror was unbelievable. He had actually discovered the secret of this deceased daughter. Ella Smith had lost her life to cancer at a young age. When her parents first learned of her diagnosis, they were devastated. Nobody even saw this coming because Ella was always an active child, as she loved playing sports and was always very lively. Everything started when Ella was only 12 and lived in London with her family. She also had 3 brothers and 7 sisters, herself included. Their life was full of happiness and joy. Ella was also part of a boxing academy because it was her favorite sport. If she weren't doing boxing, she would be busy with schoolwork or helping around with the little ones. She was a sweet girl and loved her family dearly. She also enjoyed life to the fullest. Ella was happy and healthy until shortly before Christmas, when she discovered a bump on her head. Like any other child, she loved Christmas enormously and was very involved in all the hustle and bustle and the preparations for the holidays. She had no idea where the bump came from, and she thought it was no big deal. Maybe she had bumped her head unknowingly while playing sports. Boxing can also cause a blow to the head, so this could also be a possibility. Ella eventually forgot about the bump and continued living as if nothing was wrong. But one day, Ella suddenly fell unconscious in the kitchen. Her parents were terrified and immediately took her to the hospital. She was then examined thoroughly by the doctors, and they discovered that Ella had bone cancer. She would have to undergo surgery immediately, but this news broke her parents' hearts. Somehow, Ella had reacted very calmly to this news. She was always cheerful and believed that everything would be fine. The family faced a difficult period, and they were very sad, while Ella stayed calm and even took care of her mother. She comforted her mother and tried her best to speak soothing words to her. At the same time, Ella made sure that her mother remained healthy by making sure she ate well and slept enough. However, the mass continued to grow towards her spinal cord and shoulder. When she needed surgery, it took the doctors almost 8 hours to remove all the affected tissue. After the surgery, Ella endured a period of painful chemotherapy. She spent the following months in the hospital and tried to be strong despite all the pain she felt. Ella's mother often cried when she visited her, but as always, the positive Ella reassured her. After the treatments, Ella was finally able to go home again. She had managed to convince herself that she would beat this illness. After the chemotherapy, Ella had lost all her hair and had a frail body, but that did not stop her from fighting. She couldn't do much because she was weak, and she stayed in bed a lot. At such times, she would write a song to pass the time, and in the lyrics, she had expressed her emotions. Ella's father noticed in these challenging days, his daughter was spiritual and was quite intelligent. She often spoke about subjects her parents didn't fully understand. However, her health deteriorated, and unfortunately, she passed away in 2014 at the age of 13. After losing their beloved Ella, the family was absolutely devastated. Despite her positive attitude and courage, she was unable to overcome her illness. Shortly after Ella had passed and the family tried to get back to their normal lives, the father decided to face the difficult task of cleaning up Ella's room. This would require a thorough search of her belongings. He entered the room, and the mirror instantly caught his eye. Her father had then decided to take the mirror off the wall, but when he saw the back of it, he was transfixed for a moment as if he couldn't believe what he saw. That's when he had discovered the secret of his deceased daughter. On the back of the mirror, Ella's father had noticed a text, but it wasn't just a few lines. There were almost 3,000 words, and it was all handwritten. Ella had written this text while she was still fighting cancer, and the pain and emotions that she had endured could be felt in this text. Her father began reading this text, but halfway through, he had to stop because it was simply too much for him. The letter inspired the family and softened the pain of their lost little girl. Her father could not imagine how his daughter had found the strength to write such an inspiring text when she was so sick and needed inspiration herself. He knew Ella loved writing because she wrote often, and she would express her emotions that way. But no one had ever seen her writing this. However, her father was happy that he had discovered the text because it reminded him of Ella. Because of her inspiring text, she lived on in their hearts, and this gave them peace and strength. The family decided to keep the mirror in the room to sense her presence each time anyone would read the letter.